I am SaraBelle.
And I'm Sebastian. Welcome to yet another of our fast food, junk food episodes. And this is a very special episode. Why?
We are talking about Twinkies.
Twinkies and zingers and ho-hos and ding-dongs. Okay, we don't have any ho-hos or ding-dongs. This episode, we probably will at some point.
Yeah, eventually.
But we got a viewer mail, a comment from one of our videos.
A comment from one of our videos, and it was actually off of our first episode.
Right.
And my friend Paul, I went to high school with him, he saw part of the first episode, and he's like, oh, I only have time to watch a little bit, but you said Twinkies.
He knew we were going to talk about Twinkies.
He knew we were going to talk about Twinkies, and we were just talking about the difference between normal Twinkies, generic Twinkies, zingers, you know. So
we got a lot to talk about in Twinkie segment, which is coming up after the break. Before that, what are we going to talk about?
Breakfast fast food.
Breakfast fast food. Something else we said we were going to talk about, actually.
Yeah.
And there's a lot to talk about when it comes to breakfast fast food. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I mean, I've actually got my top 5 fast food breakfast dishes.
I have my top 5 also.
We both have our top 5. That's coming up at the end of this segment, so we're going to get ahead to that. But what is actually our first story? Story number 1 here. Visual brand power. What does that mean?
What does that mean?
It's the Twitter logos.
Right.
I just really love this story. Take a look at this because my tablet's a little bit slow to load, but it's... please pause for these. Okay, here we go. Hot Sauce Valentine's Almost Sexual Pizza. This is a website, fastcompany.com, that has actually a really good article. There is a firm called Ditto, D-I-T-T-O. They recognize photos on Twitter. 1.8 billion pictures are on Twitter every day.
Every day.
Every day, 1.8 billion, almost 2 billion pictures a day go on Twitter. Think about that. And not just Twitter, but Instagram, Facebook, all of it.
Right.
Shared online, 1.8 billion. And every time there's a fast food logo in the picture,
okay,
it can count it. It can see the McDonald's M. It can see the Burger King burger. It can also see the KFC initials or Colonel Sanders, if you see the image of
two
Colonel.
different logos.
They have like sort of two different. They have all kinds of different variations of their logos.
Right.
For that matter, so do other places. I think.
Right.
Does Taco Bell have more than just the Taco Bell logo?
I think
they have a new logo.
They have their Liv Moss logo,
Right.
and then they have their normal Bell logo.
Okay. Right.
But yeah, so it's kind of like Google Glasses,
But
where it recognizes.
It can scan. It can basically scan these photos. And look at this. This bar graph that we have there. Surprising results. Here's what the article says. Given how dominant McDonald's is in the fast food universe, it holds 21.7% of the market compared to Burger King's 4%.
Wow, okay.
But guess what? McDonald's had the lowest score as far as number of logos that get photographed and put on social media. When you compare it to what they should have, this guy says, based on their market share, it's not getting its fair share of social photo sharing, meaning people ain't loving it enough to take a picture of their McDonald's food. Requests for comment for McDonald's, Taco Bell, and Burger King went unanswered by the time of this thing.
Right.
But this person from Ditto was talking about how McDonald's really does not have, given how many people eat their food, people aren't sharing it.
I would say that when I go out, and I do tweet and Instagram and Facebook, I'm one of those annoying people.
You're a lot less likely to do it with fast food?
Well, no. If I were going to fast food places, I would be less likely to do the McDonald's because of just... I have a few friends who are food shamers. And like,
Food shamers.
Food shamers.
I like that term.
I can't believe you ate at McDonald's. How could you eat
you eat at McDonald's? Yeah, and you know what? I object to that. Don't you hate that?
Yeah.
I mean, did you ever talk to them that saying that's kind of uncool?
No, I had a friend once who we were at a birthday party, and we had another friend who was eating a Costco muffin. I love
the Costco muffins.
But she came over, I was sitting next to my boyfriend, she came over and put her head between us. She's like, can you believe she's eating that entire muffin? That's 4 servings.
What the hell? Oh, wait.
Yeah.
A Costco muffin is 4 servings?
Yeah, like the size of the Costco muffin was like a 4 servings of an average,
I'm sorry.
When
anybody
you
who knows this topic knows that those servings are sometimes not appropriate.
Right.
the servings are not appropriate. You know, that's one serving is like 1/4 of a Snickers bar or some bullshit. Like,
right? Yeah, it's like in the Snickers package there was 8 servings.
They do that because they need to get away with something.
The calorie count.
The calorie count per thing or whatever it is. Go on.
Food shamers. I have food shamers on my Facebook, and I will be more likely to post a picture of Chipotle or Jimmy John's.
In-N-Out Burger.
In-N-Out.
I will always and I always get really positive reaction when I do
delicious.
post a picture from my In-N-Out Burger or my In-N-Out fries or just a picture of me at In-N-Out, which I don't do a lot of, but I do every so often.
Yeah, well, we have a thing that we did there too in the drive-thru.
Oh right, we had a thing we actually did there. I forgot. And it was just.
I would be less likely. I would really honestly be less likely to post McDonald's because I have food shaming friends.
Mm-hmm. Well, look at this graph. Of the 9 different places, McDonald's is 9th place.
Right, wow.
With only a small percentage. Look, what's above it? Number 1 number 1 fast food chain that would get pictures of it put online?
Domino's.
Domino's Pizza. Isn't that interesting?
Well, I kind of... Because Domino's did have an ad campaign that was, tweet us your Domino's picture.
Did they?
Yeah, I remember that.
Okay.
It was... a thing where I think someone posted a bad photo of their pizza, and the CEO was like, that's not acceptable, here, let us send you a free pizza, sort of thing.
Right.
So I think more people are apt to post Domino's stuff because they have their finger on the social media pulse. So
they took and turned a straight up negative on social media into a not only a crazy positive, but look at this graph. Yeah. This graph really blows me away. Where'd it go? Here, Domino's Pizza, the number 1 as far as its brand getting shown on social media. Yeah. Second place, Chick-fil-A. We talked about Chick-fil-A last time. Mm-hmm. Burger King, 3rd place. These are all very close, by the way.
Yeah.
Domino's, Chick-fil-A, Burger King, KFC.
And then there's the drop to Taco Bell.
A big drop off to Taco Bell. People are a lot less likely to tweet Taco Bell, Pizza Hut, which I love Pizza Hut. We have Pizza Hut to talk about in the future here.
Their new crusts and sauce and toppings.
Exactly.
And
they have a whole new set of crusts. Some of them look damn good to me.
As far as
the commercial. Good. Yeah, the pretzel looks really good. Now, the commercials are always going to look good. Another topic is going to be the difference between how food looks in the commercial. There's this great YouTube video. We must show a clip of it if we can. Right. Where they show the photo shoot.
Yes,
of the putting everything. The McDonald's burger.
We have to move the onion forward and bring the
They have to show the pickle sticking out a little bit on the side, whereas normally the pickle would be completely dead center in the thing, and so on. So there's a lot of stuff that I didn't think about when I watched that. And it's not like they're dishonest. You know what I'm saying? It's not like they're lying. But there is a difference in how the food looks because in the camera shot, it's got to look like the glamour shot of that burger. And when you get the burger, it's not necessarily going to look the best. It does need to be the freshest.
It needs to taste good.
And it needs to taste really good. And between freshness and goodness, tasting, the visual can be 3rd place in the kind of top 3.
It definitely can.
So I don't know. I just thought that was a really interesting story, given that this company can tell when
what it's looking at.
People are tweeting the logos, and they can sort of differentiate between similar company logos and so on and so forth. From the analysis of brands that are winning, Tarzinski, the person who's the researcher, says visual sharing is not random or organic. Brands that do well tend to encourage users to share photos. That's what you said Domino's did. Wendy's and Burger King have a similar share of the market, but people are way more jazzed about sharing pictures of Burger King, partly because it encourages customers to take pictures of themselves with the paper crowns that you get in the store. And who doesn't love those paper crowns?
I actually just saw one because I have my own Twitter.
Right.
Miss SaraBelle NF. And
we'll put it up here.
We'll figure and I followed like 40 fast food companies.
I love that.
And I went through Burger King's, and I kept seeing pictures of Whoppers with the crown kind of like hovering over the Whopper, and I was like, "What's going on?"
I like that. That's very strange. I like that.
Because they were retweeting pictures that people had tweeted
to them. Yeah. I love how this, and they all work differently. Facebook works very differently than Twitter. I'm not as active, but I am on Twitter. Right. Sebastian Kuntz. You're on Twitter as
Miss SaraBelle NF.
Miss SaraBelle NF. Here they are.
And we have our show.
I was going to say, the main Twitter that we'd like to hear from you at is our Twitter here, which is at cBas and SaraBelle, minus the silent.
Minus tiny.
Turns out there's only 15 characters on Twitter. Who knew?
Yeah.
So I just think that's really interesting.
Yeah.
Do you tweet photos of food?
I do
Sometimes you
tweet photos of food.
I say tweet, meaning also Facebook and others.
Yeah. I usually will do homemade food over the fast food.
Yeah.
But I know that Wendy's, I have tweeted Wendy's before from another personal Twitter account, and they will actually be, hey, this is a great photo. Can we use this? Go to this website.
That's pretty badass.
And upload it. Basically, it's just doing the model release kind of thing. But
it's kind of you doing their work for them.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because, they can go searching for it, or they obviously went searching and,
you use the hashtag Wendy's.
Reply to a bunch of people who
have
tweeted pictures, and if you get even a fraction of response back, that's still very cool.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, you want to do the top 5?
Okay.
Okay, let's do our top 5 fast food breakfast dishes. Here we go. SaraBelle up first?
SaraBelle
Number
up
5.
First. Number 5 is going to be Jack in the Box.
Jack in the Box.
Jack
Number
in the
5.
Box.
Now, do you have a dish, a specific thing at Jack in the Box you like for the breakfast?
Usually, because it's usually when I'm in the car with my boyfriend, we will get 2 of the croissant supremes and 2 of the breakfast supremes. And we'll each have 1 of each. We'll have 2 sandwiches. Yeah.
Fabulous.
Yeah.
So that's a big breakfast, but those sandwiches are really good.
That's usually when we're driving to the coast, because it's a 2-hour drive. And
I always believed in Jack in the Box breakfast. I will say more about this later, but because it's 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
McDonald's stops at 10:30 or 11. Burger King stops at 10:30 or 11. Everybody who serves breakfast seems to stop at breakfast. Except for Sonic and Jack in the Box. Okay.
Yeah.
Number 5 is Jack in the Box. Number 4.
Sonic.
Sonic breakfast.
They have toaster sandwiches that are really good, and their bacon is a very good quality.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, number 3.
McDonald's Egg McMuffin.
McDonald's Egg McMuffin.
But just the Egg
choice.
McMuffin, nothing
just
else.
Just the Egg McMuffin.
Nothing.
Okay, got it.
No potatoes. No anything like that.
Yep. Number 2.
The Carl's Jr. biscuits.
The Carl's Jr. biscuits. I have not had that.
They are delicious because they have a fresh, never frozen kind of thing where they're making them in-house. The only problem with making them in-house is they are not consistent.
So sometimes they're not as good?
Sometimes they're not as good. Because sometimes you have the ones that are the 24/7 Jack in the Box, where they've made the biscuits at 11 p.m.
And other times not.
And
okay.
Yeah, so there's an inconsistency, butter ratio.
Okay. Yeah. And your number 1 fast food breakfast dish?
Los Betos.
Los Betos.
Ham burrito.
The ham burrito at Los Betos.
The ham burrito. And
now, I feel like we should explain Los Betos for people who maybe don't know Los Betos, right? What is Los Betos?
It's just a Tucson chain Mexican fast food. I mean, it might even be all of Arizona. I'm not sure.
I was going to say, is it Tucson only?
I'm not sure if it's all of Arizona, but basically...
But it's the most authentic Mexican fast food you will ever get.
I think. It is.
And it's interesting because I actually made a note of that on my top 5 thinking... Oh, I can't include this. Kind of the reason you didn't include In-N-Out
right, because it was regional.
You thought it was too regional?
Yeah, it's too regional.
I purposely made a note here of the bacon, egg, and cheese breakfast burrito at the Mexican places in Tucson, but I didn't think anybody would get what that is.
It's one of those ones that I just, if I want a breakfast, I want a decent breakfast.
Totally.
It's going to be a ham breakfast burrito.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, let me do my top 5 really fast here. My number 5 fast food breakfast dish, the McDonald's Egg McMuffin.
Okay.
Just like you had. Specifically the Egg McMuffin. Although it is not the only time McDonald's makes it into my top 5. Number 4, the Sonic Toaster Sandwich. I'm also a big fan. I have told you before about my emotional link with fast food places, and some of them make me think of college.
Things,
some of them make me think... This is another one that makes me think of an ex. I will not say more than that, but I have a history with an ex and the Sonic breakfast food. We got to do it really fast here. Yeah, I'll tell you during the break. Should we stop, actually? Okay, that's where we're going to pause.
Okay, we're going to pause
the rest of my top 5... after this break, because we really don't have time. I'm Sebastian.
I'm SaraBelle.
And we will continue with my top 5 fast food breakfast dishes right after this.
All right.